Hey, how's it going? Another episode of Down and Dirty with the Goon, brought to you by IMAG Labs and Muscle Gels. They're not kidding when they say Andrew Hart. I'm not going to say more on that topic, but just letting you know. Over the last couple weeks, I've been dealing with some stomach issues. Throwing up some blood, defecating some dried blood. Gone into the doctor numerous times, was directed to a specialist, had a CAT scan, a few x-rays, a few other tests. Finally they had to do a biopsy. Sent a scope down my throat and took out a piece, typical biopsy, out of an area in my stomach that was raised. And as I was sitting and waiting on the results of the biopsy, which is at best nerve-wracking. I've had some health issues in the past, which I'm really not going to get into at this point. But while you're waiting on a biopsy and wondering about something like stomach cancer, you really have time to, as like the alcoholics would say, take a self-assessment of yourself. I mean, you really start thinking about life, your own mortality. I mean, I've come to grips with my own mortality. Like I said, I had an health issue about 10 years back where it was pretty prevalent that I really had to wrap my head around possibly dying. And as a kid, growing up where I did and some of the jobs that I had, I faced death, God, more times than I'd like to count. Had more guns pulled on me. I've been shot right to the wrist, bullet ended up lodged in here. Been stabbed, slashed. But when you think about it, I'm not going to say you become scared, but you really have to just assess what the hell's going on in your life. Get your priorities in order. Luckily, it came back and I just have a pretty horrible ulcer, which I'm probably going to have to get a procedure for them to actually go down with the scope. Sorry, I don't know the technical name of the scope, where they're going to cauterize it, burn it shut, which would be great, so I can eat some actually fun solid food again. We're pretty much living on egg whites, bananas, granola, and some oats. But as I was saying, assessment, I'm not one of those people who's lucky enough to be married and have kids. Just not the case, wasn't in the cards for me. But some of the other stuff that I've been assessing in my life, you just have to realize life is short. At some point, we're all going to die. That's what it is. You can't get around it. I don't care what religion you are, atheist, non-atheist, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever. You can wrap your mind around it, but like I said, at some point we're all going to die. I mean, I truly love to believe that there's a Valhalla waiting. Sounds pretty cool. Get to drink with your ancestors for eternity, eat some barbecue, some hot blondes. That sounds awesome. But I really doubt there is. So, I mean, what's the legacy that a human being leaves? Seeing as I have no kids, it's going to have to be like the shit I do in life. You know what I mean? In the life I lead. And the other thing is, there's nothing in this world more expensive than regret. I mean, you're going to regret enough things that you have done. Because I don't care who you are, Mother Teresa, the freaking Pope, the Dalai Lama. You've done some shit that you wish you didn't do. Some nasty shit. But, I've kind of tried to make it a point to be more positive. My training partner's helping me out in this aspect. Because I can be actually a pretty fucking negative prick. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. Personally, aside from this, I've had a rough couple of years as far as other just, extraneous life situations. So, I'm going to try to live each day more positively. And you know, for a while, like anybody with self-doubt, I was thinking about throwing in the towel, not competing anymore, not having enough faith in myself. But I can't live with that. I mean, unless I just drop dead with a shaker cup in my hand, you know, which, you know, to a certain extent would be kind of optimal. But I don't want to sit back and say, I wish I could have done that. I wish should have done this, should have done that. So at some point soon, I'll be competing again. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to bore everybody with the details, but I will be jumping into a show, see how that goes, maybe take it further. Because I'm not ready just to hang it up yet. And that's what it is. Actually today, I was kind of like in a negative mode. And I was about to kind of go off. I get really negative and kind of like go on a nasty rant. And in the end, what the fuck's that going to do? It's going to give me about like 8 seconds of pleasure, and then I'm going to feel like really rotten about it. Okay, so enough about me, even though I am quite fucking interested. NFL drafts coming up next week. Hopefully this video will air by then. Talking to my editor. The combine has gone down, all kinds of NFL testing, 40-yard dash, the lifts, all kinds of like physical stuff. Plus tapes on play. Then you have all these ESPN pundits. And just let me tell you something. For someone who actually played Division I football and had a cup of coffee in the league, most of these guys on ESPN know absolutely jack shit about football. They've never played. All they do is just talk about it. Heard an interesting story from an NFL player. Actually this week, was talking to him. We're talking about the combines. Combines are interesting because you actually feel like a piece of cattle. You have to sit in a room naked in front of guys. They look at your teeth, basically pick up your junk, look you all around. And this guy actually ran into Bill Belichick. This player's older. This was before Belichick was with the Pats. This may have been in his Browns, New York Jets era. I can't remember the actual year. Belichick ran into him, and every other coach was asking him about his 40 time or how much he benches. Belichick asked him, in this situation, what would you do in this defense? What would you call? That's what separates a great player from somebody else, somebody who actually knows what to do in their position. Because other than the complete genetic freaks who go in the first 20 places, and let me tell you, most of these guys, the quarterbacks are receivers, and they're really not fucking football players. The guys who've never been hit in their life. Football players are the guys who have actually been hit in their life. That's just one of those things. You have an ex-receiver. For you guys who aren't like super football fans, ex-receivers are those little fast guys who just burn down the field and cry if anybody touches them. You know, same thing with like quarterbacks. You know, they get hit, they get on the ground, they roll around like it was the worst thing that ever happened to them. Well, you know, pretty much like, you know, the other 16 guys on the field hit every play and never cry about it. I'm saying, but the thing that separates the guys who go in the second round and the fifth, really physically, isn't much. Like I've said before, people don't understand pro bodybuilders until they've actually seen them in person. You see pictures, it doesn't do it justice. You see these NFL guys in person, you have no concept as to how big, how fast these guys are. They're all freaking gifted, genetically top of the line. And I had people say, oh yeah, I know, like, you know, some people have better genetics. And I'm not shitting on bodybuilding, I bodybuild. You know, they'll say Phil Heath's the most genetically gifted guy in the world. Well, Phil Heath isn't pulling home $22 million a year. If he was that genetically gifted, he would be. Like I said, nothing against Phil, because now Phil's probably going to say I suck. I'm just throwing you out there, Phil, because you're Mr. Olympia. So, once again, the combine isn't all about how many times somebody can throw up 2 1/4. I want to congratulate David Henry for coming in first in Ireland, the home of my ancestors. It was actually the first pro bodybuilder show in Ireland. It was a 212, and David did become the king of the leprechauns. Sorry, Dave. I really want to try your barbecue, but, you know, 212 leprechaun is definitely out there. And, God, what else do we have coming up? New York Pro soon. Really excited about that show. Come on, it's the New York Pro, the old Night of Champions. We're definitely going to see a lot of stuff there. It'll be interesting. Oh, and back to the positive attitude. I started off legs today. Possibly the worst leg workout I've ever had. It was terrible. Full disclosure, I've got an awful knot in my hip. I did a bad shot, got some gear sitting in there, and it's fucking killing me. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know what pirate leg is. Well, I had pirate hip. It's about the size of a freaking tennis ball. I'm about to go get it deep tissued out. But instead of getting pissed off and quitting, I actually plugged through, dropped my weight, sucked my ego up, and did a pretty decent workout. You know, at some point, some days, you're going to have to do that. Just keep your focus. Try to keep a positive mental attitude. It maybe at least for me, maybe I get more done. Maybe this can help you, because there's some days you're just not going to have it. And it's no reason to quit. Goon out.